It's Louis here. I hope you're all well. We're looking at Quant today on the daily time frame, and we did exactly what we thought after the previous daily candle close being a doji. What I said, that it is a bit confusing as we are at support and at resistance at the same time, but because we're closing right by the support, I do believe that this is going to signal a pump back to towards the 55 daily EMA, and we've seen that in that daily candle. So very nice that it did exactly what we thought, but remembering this is your 55 daily EMA. This is what's keeping us in a downtrend, and this is why from this location, if we're seeing any weakness like wicks to the top, which we were explaining in the last updates over the last few days, we can see that a failure to close above this is just a second tap of resistance. So you ran into it as resistance, you reaccumulate with a double bottom over here, small ascending triangle, you broke out and you ran into this 55 again without us closing above this or up here. Remember, we were talking about this $10 range between 120 and 130. We need to clear 130, and of course, until we're until we see closes above. If we're not seeing closes above this level, then their expectation is just to pump into this resistance to continue lower. This could be an M pattern forming, for example. So we need to wait for the loss of this neckline. What I can spot, again, as this is an M pattern, potentially we're going to have to draw a neckline right here at about $117. A daily candle close below this would signal further continuation lower, because this is a bearish pattern that we call a descending triangle. Unfortunately, what I spoke about in yesterday's H-bar update is of this descending triangle. So we've only got this descending resistance with the yesterday's daily candle close. Okay, without that, we only had this prior, so we still needed to come towards the 55. So I'm glad I was able to give you this short-term signal. This was, of course, tradable, about a 4% move, of course, without leverage. Doesn't really matter. But what we are noticing at the moment is we're trapped between this support and this resistance, and we're going to keep going sideways between the two. There can be cases where we're doing fake outs. We can have a close below this. That means we're going lower. Then you can close above it the next day, and you can close back under it again the next day. So there could be a lot of manipulation. I'm telling you this because this is what I've personally seen on H-bar. I'll bring your attention to H-bar real quick. You can see that it played around here, closing below. You set a new wick. I told everyone, make sure you mark out this wick, because in the future, even if you close below this, this is still a support. This is what could push you back up. And you did that in two candles. You came down and you went back up. You came down and you went back up. So it's a signal we're going to try and tap the top. But again, this is a bearish descending triangle. The expectation is to go lower. And we've seen that now. And we've also lost this wick over here as well. So the same thing, bring it all back over to Quant, and we're seeing similar things now. So we need to be careful of those fake outs going forward. If we do see any, be aware of them. If we do come down, set a new wick, let's say down here, which is lower, then we come back in, and then you do close under again, this is still gonna be a support, so it could push you back over again. But eventually this should break down, because this is a bearish pattern. Now, of course, nothing is 100% here, and over the last few days we've also spoken about this ascending triangle over here, potential double bottom, and if this does play out, we could be seeing Quant actually heading towards here. But the expectation is, if we do even manage to get up here, that we will eventually continue lower afterwards. And again, as you know, I will urge all of you to check out the Bitcoin updates, as they're the most important. Bitcoin does usually give clues before alts, and we were going through this over the last 2 days on the Bitcoin updates, as well as over on the Quant updates, explaining how we could have taken advantage of the lower time frames and the daily candle closes for Bitcoin, taking advantage of the daily candle close and then using that daily candle close to scale down on the lower time frames. And by analyzing Bitcoin at about that time, if you've got a clear picture of what that's about to do, then you've got a clear picture of what your alt is about to do, and they tend to go up more. So we do have this ascending support, and we know if it's lost, you could be validating this shoulder, head, and shoulders pattern. We have spoken about this in the past, but again, there's two necklines. There's this ascending one as well as this horizontal. So once you lose this, you go to here, then you bounce back up, and hopefully hold it as resistance to go lower again. So yeah, it will take a while, because we do have this current support over here. So this is in line with our descending triangle support as well as the ascending support. It's saying that they're meeting over here. This will be an area of rejection. So I do believe in the short term, if we manage to get down to about $117, that this will bring a quick spike, because this is an area of demand that's shown over here. This was actually the area that we were making those specific videos on the lower time frames and trying to use the Bitcoin chart to find trades on your alts. Yeah, just by simply spotting, okay, here we have one bottom and an area of demand. This was the area we were looking at yesterday. This is that double bottom over here on the daily time frame. Just move over to the 4 hour, and we had a much clearer picture on the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin, I think, bottomed out in this candle, and it showed a reversal. Like in this time period, it says 8, but this 4 hour candle starts at 8, closes at midnight. So when this had finished on the Bitcoin chart, it was looking like a doji at a previous area of demand. So it should be an area where we go up, and Bitcoin did start to go up overnight, and then in the morning only Quant did at about 8 a.m. because this opens at 4 and closes at 8. This opens at 8, closes at 12. This opens at 12, closes at 4, and so on. And we got 6 of those in one day. So here we have a doji at the support in the area of demand, and Bitcoin had already reversed before this candle. Then Quant did it and was giving you your further clues. And yeah, all we did was head back to that previous neckline of resistance, the 200 EMA as well. And you can see we're still struggling to break above that with wicks to the top, meaning that it wants to drop. Continuation below this, you can see we're trapped between support and resistance. This is a signal that we're going to try and break the resistance. If it fails, then we're getting hammered back down to this area of demand, which we just said on the daily time frame. This would validate, if you're losing this area of demand, this would validate this shoulder, head and shoulders pattern, tying up in with our Bitcoin analysis as we're seeing weakness at the moment. And what's actually funny, this is a shoulder, head and shoulders, potentially part of a larger right head and left shoulder. And we've been talking about this for a good long time. Understand, even if this plays out, this is still demand, you still go up. If it's lost, we come down to here. But again, this is still demand, so you'll go up. So there's a lot of, processes to still play out. But yeah, right now, we have three patterns, 2 bearish, 1 bullish. The head and shoulders is the bearish one. The bullish one is this ascending triangle. All you need to wait for is the break of $130. If we're not seeing that, which we're not at the moment, that's not the expectation. But yeah, prepared if we see a daily candle close above that, you break out of this ascending triangle, validating bullish targets. But we do believe that around 150, 140, 160, there is some key resistance over here. So we do anticipate that even if we do push up into there, which currently we're not seeing the signs for that, but if we do, we're expecting this to be a rejection zone. If you've appreciated everything in the video so far, please do smash the like button, comment and subscribe, as we're not getting enough engagement anymore. Let's really push for the likes and comments, and yeah, do share the video. If you want me to teach you this, then I do have a course that's currently 50% off. If you private message me, I can send you that discount. Over on my Twitter, the link is underneath this video. Other than that, if you didn't really get today's update, just rewatch it. It was all here. But we have this shoulder, head and shoulder, head and shoulders pattern, sorry, that could take us down. Zooming in over here, we also see the rejection of the 55 as we called. So lucky that we got up to there. Now we've rejected it with a shooting star. This is a bearish signal, as this is a lower high. This high is lower than that one. And so the expectation is to eventually lose this demand zone and head lower, and validating this small head and shoulders pattern, making this larger head and shoulders pattern more likely as we start to come down and it takes shape a bit more. But I do believe that once you come into this $75 to $95 area, that this is going to be a big demand zone. As you've seen in the past, since tapping here on the 14th of November, you set your range high. One day after that, on the 16th, okay, 2 days after, on the 16th, no, on the 15th. So yeah, one day later on the 15th, you set your range high, and we've been trapped between this price point and this price point since. But look at that reaction. In 2 days you hit the high. So when we come back down here, expect a big boy bounce. But will that big boy bounce manage to break this newly formed lower high? If not, then you just got another lower high and then a lower low. Do you understand that? Thank you guys for tuning in today. Again, like, subscribe, and comment. If you want me to teach you this step by step, I can even sit down with you over like a Zoom call, and I'll spend 10 hours with you. If you're interested in that, I can also provide a discount. All you need to do is hit the link underneath this video, head over to my Twitter, private message me so we can get you started today. Thank you guys so much. There's not many spots left for the mentorship. There's 2 slots. So if you do want to take these discounted slots, once they're gone, they're gone. I won't be able to teach for a few months unless you want to do the course. But thank you guys so much. Like, subscribe, and comment, and peace.